I had a request for focusing on the hip flexors. So we'll do that, but the opposite side of the front of your hip, which is where your hip flexors live, is the glute and hamstrings. So we're going to kind of do a combo of the front and the back of the hip with this class. So with that, we will need a light to medium dumbbell. I have an 8-pound, anywhere from 5 to 10. If you have a kettlebell, you're welcome to use the kettlebell. The Get-Up is traditionally done with a kettlebell. I have 2 blocks. They can be off towards the front edge of your mat. I have a long, light resistance band, and then a short, medium resistance loop. And I have a blanket that's more or less for your knees or your head to rest on. And with that, move the props out of your way. If you want to use a blanket for your head, I always feel like if you feel like your chin points towards the sky when you're lying on your back, prop your head up. So we're going to come down onto our back with the blanket supporting just the head, not the neck. And why? Because that drops your chin more towards your throat. And then find a comfortable recline position, so shifting and adjusting. And then taking a moment just to take inventory of your body. So perhaps sensing how the legs roll out and which foot is closer to the floor than the other. Noticing the back of your pelvis. If you feel more weight on one side or like you're rotated towards one side or you would fall off that balance beam to one side. Notice how far away the low back naturally sits from the floor. Could you slide a thin cell phone under, or would it be a cassette tape or maybe a VH tape? And notice the ribs. Do they flare? So your hip flexors pull your pelvis forward. And this can show up as an anterior tilt, which means you'd have a lot of space under your low back. And you'd have that rib, the bottom of the ribs, flaring up towards this guy. So just kind of notice if that's a natural state of your body. Don't judge, just notice. And then go ahead and bend your knees, standing your feet on the ground. So we'll start with a somatic kind of lesson, sensing your body, how it feels. Cross your right leg over your left leg so that your thighs touch. So it's not the ankle. You're crossing the leg all the way over. Take your arms out from your body, T to the body. And allow your right knee to gently pull your left knee over to the side. Go as far as you feel comfortable going. And then slowly come back to center. So if your eyes are open, maybe you close them down and just continue the same lesson. Letting the right leg get heavy, pulling the left leg off to the side only as far as you can pull yourself out of it. And start to notice how fast or how slow you're going. Notice if you match this with a certain part of your breath, like do you exhale when you twist or do you exhale when you come back to center? Just notice. Notice how you stand on your foot. Does your foot remain on the ground or do you start to rock onto the inner edge of your foot? Notice how far the left side of your pelvis comes off of the floor as you drop your legs to the right. And how do you feel it in your spine and in your rib cage? Can you even feel it up into your neck and shoulder? The next time you rock out to the right, we're going to stay there. So let your right leg just get heavy. And let it just draw your left knee off to the right. And start to scan the rest of your body. Notice your hips, notice your low back, notice the front of your hips, notice your rib cage. Is there anywhere along that chain that you feel like you could relax or let go and still feel safe? Good. Bring it back to center. Keep the right leg crossed over the left leg. Bring both arms above your chest, straight up towards the sky, and bring the palms together, reaching the fingers towards the sky. And we're going to rotate our upper body. Keep the fingertips flush as you rotate your upper body to the left. And then come out of it. So as you kind of tick-tock over to the left, notice how you have to kind of stretch that right arm so that you can keep the tips of your fingers together. Notice how you have to kind of pull that shoulder blade off the floor. Maybe even the spine comes off the floor a little bit. Notice if your head moves as you explore this movement. And does it move with your arms in the same direction as your arms, or does it move the opposite way? So just notice what you're doing naturally. Keep doing it for 2 more times. And then for the last 3 times, can you turn your head the opposite way that your arms are reaching? Or, sorry, the opposite way that you were doing it. So if your head was moving with the arms, turn it away from the arms. If your head was turning opposite of your arms, let it go with your arms. Good. Come back to center. Keep the arms over your chest. Let your right knee pull your left knee over to the right. And now reach your upper body over to the left. And hold. Good. Bring the knees back, bring the upper body back. Uncross the legs and straighten both your legs. Check in with how the feet turn out. Check in with your pelvis. Notice if you feel the same. Do you feel like you're falling off the same way? Check your low back. Does it feel closer or further away from the floor? Check the ribs. And then let's do this same exploration on the opposite side. So bend both knees, standing your feet flat on the floor. Cross your left leg over your right leg. Arms out to the side, T to the body. Starting with just the lower body, let your left leg pull your right leg over to the side. And then come out of it. So you know where we're going, just start to explore. Notice how slow or fast you go. Maybe you try to go a little slower. If you're going super slow, maybe you try to go a little faster. Notice how you rock on your foot. And start to track it up your body. Notice how this feels in your waist, your hip, your rib cage. Can you feel it tug all the way up into your neck? Does your head move? Good. The next time you go out to the left, stay there. So go as far as you feel like you can stay relaxed. And then scan your body and see if there's anywhere that you can relax a little bit more. What feels really good to me right now is to really lengthen the right side between my waist and my rib cage. Like I just want it to like stretch. So I'm trying to relax what's holding on. And then roll back to center. Keep the legs crossed. Bring the arms back above your chest. Fingertips stay together. Start to rock your upper body towards the right. So as you rock to the right, reach your left fingertips across to keep the tips of your fingertips flush. Feel how you have to lift the left shoulder blade and left rib cage off the floor. Maybe even a little bit of the spine comes off the floor to the left. Notice how the head moves naturally for the next two. Does it move with the arms or against the arms? And then for the last few, take the head the opposite way. Come back to center. Drop the legs off to the left. Reach the arms off to the right. Hold for a few breaths. Is one way super awkward? Like it's super awkward for me to do it this way, and it was really easy when I was going the other way. So I just find that interesting. I'm letting my right waistline grow long because I noticed I was trying to hike it up. Good. Come back to center. Uncross the legs and extend long. Check in with the spots that you've kind of noticed and just take another inventory before we start to move into the get-up. Good. And we're going to roll to either side and press up. We're going to start with the resistance band. So grab your resistance band and have your weight close by. I'm going to give you an option to use your weight here, but have it off on the left side of your mat. We're going to take the resistance loop. We've done this before. We're going to take the resistance loop and wrap it around your right foot. The arch of your right foot. You're going to grab the other end of your resistance band and you're going to hold it when you're on the ground like this. So you will take it in the palm of your hand and grip around. It's hard to see that once I lie down. But it's in the same hand as the leg that's looped. So it's in your right hand and the loop is around your right foot. Go ahead and roll onto your back. So your right arm is 45 degrees away from your body. You're going to feel like you want to take it down because you have that resistance band, but we want to create tension. So take it out 45 degrees. Bend your left knee to 90 degrees. Both legs are 45 degrees away from the midline. Take your left hand and place it behind your head with your elbow pointing straight up towards the sky. You're going to push your foot into the resistance band. So push the arch down into your foot and pull your hand up towards the wall above your head. But you're not really moving your arm a lot. So we're going to start that first part of the get up from your recline position, which is the elbow press. So start to tug your rib cage, the left side of your rib cage towards the right hip point, and then lift up onto your elbow. As you do, push your foot down into the band. Aim your chest towards your thumb. Lift your elbow straight up towards this guy. Point it straight up towards this guy, Lisa. Straight up towards this guy. Good. Keep pushing the arch of your foot down into the band and roll back onto your back. Elbow continues to point up towards this guy, not out towards this side. Start to roll the left side of your rib cage towards the right side of your rib cage. Press down through your foot, press down through your hand, roll up. Elbow towards this guy. Good. Chest towards your right thumb. We're doing 10 of these. Roll back down. Elbow points towards this guy. Push down through the hand on the ground. Push down into the band. Roll up. Elbow up. Roll down. Exhale, roll up to your elbow, push down into the band. So pushing with the foot down into the band helps you not use your hip flexor. One more like that. Good. If that feels hard, stay with this. If it feels like you want to take up the challenge to take the weight into your hand, grab your weight. Wrist is above your shoulder. You're still pushing down into your foot. You're still pushing the outer edge of your hand up towards the wall behind you. We've got 5 more. Exhale, roll up. Punch the elbow up or the weight up. Good. Roll back down. 4 more. Crunch. Push the foot down into the band. Keep pushing the pinky edge of your hand up into the band. So you're creating tension as you roll up and down. 2 more. Roll up. Chest towards thumb. Elbow or fist towards sky. Last 2. Last one. You're going to stay up. If you have that weight, bend your elbow and set it down in front of you. You're going to keep the band around your right foot and roll down onto your back. Bring your left knee in. Use the band to straighten your right leg above your hip. So the band is springy, so you have to walk your hands way up towards your foot. Be where your knee can be straight and your elbow straight. And then straighten your left leg long. Reach your right heel straight up towards the sky, so pull your toes towards your head. To create more tension, you can bend your elbows to the floor, but you want your right leg to stay still. Inhale deep into your belly. As you exhale, as if you're blowing out 75 candles, blow out as you lift your left leg to meet your right leg. Inhale, lower it down. Exhale, blow out candles, lift your left leg. Inhale, lower down. So right leg is not moving. Keep doing this. We're doing 10 leg lifts. That was 3. You should feel the back of the top of your leg bone, of the right leg bone, kind of dropping towards the back of the pelvis. Like if the pelvis wasn't there, it would sit on the floor. Your spine is still, and you're using your hip flexor to lift the left leg up. 2 more. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Stay lifted. Bring your left foot into the band too. Bend the knees, and then straighten the legs long to the ground. Gather up on your resistance bands. Push both feet into the bottom of the band where they wrapped around the foot. Push your chin towards your throat. Curl your head up to look at your toes. And then one vertebrae at a time, peel up. Keep pushing the feet into the band so that the legs don't lift. Come all the way up. I'm going to turn to face you. You're going to take that weight, and if you can, take it tall out between your legs. So we're still working with the right leg. So lean back on your hands. Firm the top of your thigh muscles on your right leg. So as if you're kind of hugging the muscles to the bone. Lift the leg up. Slowly cross it over the top of your weight. Tap it down. Firm the top of your thigh. Lift it up. And take it over. Go slow. Go slow. Fast doesn't work the hip flexors. So your medial quad muscle is a hip flexor. We sometimes think that the only hip flexor that exists is our psoas muscle. That muscle alone is actually two muscles. It's the iliopsoas muscle, so your iliacus and your psoas. But so is your quad. And if you feel cramps in the front, think of really deepening your hip flexion and keeping your spine long. One more. Good. Come forward. Grab your weight. If you're using your weight, take it in your left hand. Bend your left knee. Press it back over your shoulder. Come down onto your elbow, and then roll down onto your back. Drop the bell off. Good. I am going to turn around so that you can continue to see me if you need to. You stay where you are. So we're going to do that same thing on the left side. So take your resistance band, place it around the arch of your left foot. Hold it in your right hand. So when you come down, that palm can hold it down. Bend your right knee 90 degrees. So limbs are all 45 degrees away from your body. Turn your left leg out and press the arch down into the band as you push, as if you're trying to lift your left hand to the wall behind you. So that creates tension in the band. Right elbow points straight up towards the sky. Reach the right elbow up as you roll the left side of your rib cage towards your left foot. At the top, lift your elbow towards the sky. Good. Roll back down. So each time you lift, we're doing 10. This is 2. You want to think of pushing your foot into the band. So you're trying to resist the leg coming off the floor. And the more you push down into the band, it's going to keep that hip flexor working for you without lifting the leg, but instead helping you lift your upper body. And one of the most common things that we do, we've got 4 more left. Keep reaching your elbow up. One of the most common things that we do is that we will lift our leg in order to give us that little boost. But that does not use the hip flexor in the way that we want. This is the last one. Good. Roll back down. Bring your right foot in. And then you're going to use your resistance band to take your left leg over your hip. Crawl your hands up the band, and then straighten your right leg long to the ground. Allowing the elbows to get heavy towards the floor will help keep your leg still. So hold the leg someplace that you can keep it straight. Inhale through your nose. And as you exhale, blow out candles to lift right leg to meet left leg. We're doing that 10 times. Go slow both on the way up and on the way down. You want to kind of check in with your spine. We don't want this to be spinal flexion. So as you lift, your spine should not flex towards the floor. It should remain just slightly above the floor with the weight on the back of your pelvis heavy. You are using the core, and the hip flexor is a core muscle. It's not one of your deep stabilizing muscles, but it is a core muscle. So you're using it to help you lift, but as well, you're using your deep stabilizers by that exhale out. We have one more. Lift high, stay high. Sneak your right foot in the loop beside your left. Bend the knees, and then straighten the legs long to the ground. Walk your hands down your loop so you have more tension on the loop. Start by first tucking your chin towards your throat, and then look down at your feet. Slowly peel up one vertebrae at a time, letting the resistance band help you come up. Good. Move the resistance band, and you're going to take that dumbbell. And if the dumbbell won't stand up, you can also use your block. Lean back. And now we're moving just the left leg. So slowly firm the muscles around your thigh bone. Slowly lift it up. Tap it inside. Tap it outside. And if you don't remember to firm your quad muscles first, you will likely get a cramp in the front of your hip. So if you feel that, think hug the muscles. So think engage the front of your thighs, then lift. Two more both ways. So lift, bring it one way, lift the other, lift. Good. Lift. Awesome. Move the weight or whatever it is out of the way. Bend your right knee, take your left leg out. Right arm straight up towards the sky, lower down onto your elbow, and then down onto your spine. Good. Hug both knees in towards the chest. Let your low back round towards the floor. All right. Bend your left knee, straighten your right leg. 45 degrees away from the midline. Both legs, left knee's bent at 90. Right arm comes down 45 degrees away from your body. Punch your left fist straight up towards the sky. All right. We're going to come to that elbow press again. So start to roll the rib cage towards the right side and then come up, punch up. Good. Bend your right knee forward and drop your left foot down, or left knee down. We're going to come up into this Z set. So in this position, your left knee is in line with the front of your right hip. So the knee is not forward, right? You're going to take it way back. Your right knee is in line with your front hip. We're going to start by turning to the right. So bring your left hand in line with your right knee and your right hand in line with your right hip and twist. Maybe you stay up here. Maybe it's comfortable for you to come down onto your elbows. So the reason we want the left knee back is because we are creating space in the front of the hip. And if the left knee is closer to your right heel, you actually have that hip in flexion. But we're trying to extend it into extension to stretch the hip flexor. Crawl the hands back up. Now you are going to bend the right knee deeper and slide the left knee so it's inside of the arch of your right foot. Bring the hands out in front of both knees. Hinge forward, press yourself up, and come up onto both of your shins. So shin box. Reach back towards your left knee to sit your hips back down. Good. One more time using your hands. So take your hands out in front of your knees. Press down to lift up. Come all the way up. Squeeze the glutes. To come back down, turn over to the left, so you have to flex that left hip to sit back down. So you can continue to do that the same way. We're going to do 3 more. You can also just lift up onto your shins and lower back down. So I am keeping my pubic bone in line with my right heel the whole time as I lift up and as I go back. As I lift up and as I go back. One more time, lift up. Good. Lower back down. Bring your right hand behind your right hip. Bend your left knee straight up towards the sky. Straighten your right leg down. Lower down onto your elbow. Lower down onto your back. Good. Other side. So right knee bends. Right hand or right arm straight above your wrist. Left arm straight, left arm and leg 45 degrees out from your body. Start to roll. Right rib cage towards the left side of your body. Roll to elbow press. Good. Bend your left knee out in front as you drop the right knee down. So we're coming into that Z-sit again. Right knee is behind or in line with your right hip. So you don't want that knee forward, that's flexion. You want it back. Good. Left knee is in line with your hip. Crawl your hands off to the left. So right hand is in line with your left knee. Left hand is in line with your hip. Twist to the left. And then maybe lower down. Breathe. Good. Crawl back up to your hands. Now bring the left foot and the right knee to meet. So now coming into that shin box. You're going to keep your pubic bone in line with your left heel, hands out in front, so right out in front of both knees. Use the hands to press up onto your shins, squeeze the glutes. And then turn towards your right knee to move the hips back so that you have to flex that right hip. Hands on the ground, crawl forward, press up. Reach towards the right knee as you flex into that right hip. Or do this 3 more times, maybe not using your hands. You can always use your hands if you need to. Sit back. 2 more. Remember to squeeze the glutes at the top. Good. Lower back down. Left hand comes beside you. Right knee bends up towards the sky. Left leg goes straight. Right hand reaches up. Come to your elbow and come down to your spine. Good. Bend both knees towards your chest. Low back towards the floor. Rock side to side. Straighten your right leg long. Keep holding your left knee straighten your left leg long. Keep holding the right knee in towards your chest. Take your right hand and grab your right ankle. So take it all the way down to your ankle. Not your heel, but the front of your ankle. Take your left arm beside your ear. Roll onto your left side. And then pull the knee back as you roll down onto your belly. So start to push the front of your ankle into your hand. And push your hip point into the floor. Feel your knee lift off the floor. Press down through your left hand as you lift your head and chest off the floor. And then turn your head and look to the right. So you're lying on your belly. All the way on your belly, chest is facing the floor. Your right hip point, so that sticky bony out point at the front of your pelvis is pressing hard into the floor. So where the pocket of your jeans, where your hand would be when you put your hand in your pocket, that's pushing into the floor. Good, release. Use your knee, keep holding your ankle. Roll back onto your back. Hug your knee in towards your chest. Bend both knees. Keep holding your left knee. I'm going to turn around. Keep holding your left knee as you straighten your right leg long. Take your left hand, grab the front of your left ankle with your left hand. I have my hand on the arm on the outside of my leg, not on the inside. Yes. Straighten your right arm above your head. So your right arm becomes a pillow for your head as you start to roll onto your right side. Pull your foot behind you. And then continue to roll all the way onto your belly. On your belly, if you had your hand in your pocket, where your fingers would be, press that hard into the floor. And you're going to feel an intense stretch in the front of your hip and thigh. Start to kick your foot into your hand as you almost lift your knee off the floor. And then lift your chest and turn your head to the left. Your right arm is pressing down into the ground. Turn your head back to look at the floor. Use your knee, moving into flexion, to help roll yourself back onto your back. Pull both knees into your chest. Good. Straighten your right leg down. Straighten your right arm down, both of them 45 degrees away from your body. Left knee's bent to 90, right arm straight above your shoulder. Roll to elbow press. Think of pushing the leg down in the band as you come up. Come up onto your hand. Drop your left hand behind you. So you can drop your butt to the ground. Keep your right leg straight and turn your toes out so the outer edge of your foot is on the floor. Keep your left knee bent at 90. Press through both your left foot and the outer edge of your right foot, hip bridge. Lower down. Hip bridge. Lower down. 3 more like this, hip bridge. So as if you were pushing the buckle of your pants straight up towards the sky. 2 more. Push hard through the outer edge of your right foot. Push hard through the full foot on the left. Good. Lift your left arm up. Turn your chest towards your right thumb. Buckle to the sky 5 times like this. So think pelvis straight up. If you had a belt buckle on, it goes straight up. 4 and 5. Good. Elbow to the ground. Roll onto your back. Hug both knees in towards your chest. Bend your right knee 90 degrees. Right fist straight up towards the sky. Turn your left foot out. Left arm down from your body, 45 degrees away from your body. Press down through the outer edge of your left foot. Imagine you're pushing down into that band to help keep the leg on the ground. Start to rotate the right rib cage towards the left side of your body. Elbow press. Come up onto your hand. Good. Bring the left hand behind. So make sure full right foot is on the ground. Outer edge of the left foot is on the ground. Press the outer edge of the left foot down hard. 5 hip bridges with both hands on the ground. So belt buckle straight up towards this guy. 4, 5. Good. Then right arm up. Right knee pushes out. Press through the full right foot. Left outer edge of the foot. Up. 2. As if that right knee is going to go straight over the front of your foot. 4, 5. Good. Hips down. Elbow down. Spine down. Pull the knees in towards the chest. Make sure that your weight is off towards the front edge of your mat. So if you're using a dumbbell, make sure it's down towards the front edge of your mat. If you're using a kettlebell, have that there too. Bend your left knee. Left arm straight up. Right arm and leg 45 degrees away. We're going to come all the way up to half kneeling. So we've got that transition. We're not working on the transition today. So if you don't have it, don't worry about it. Just get to half kneeling when I say, all right, we're in half kneeling. So start to roll left side of the rib cage towards the right. Punch up. Elbow. Make sure the left foot stays on the ground. Hand. Good. Press down through both feet, so outer edge of right, full foot of left, lift. Bend the knee towards the chest, swing it underneath. And then you're going to turn towards the front edge of your mat, coming into half kneeling. I'm going to turn to face you. So your left knee is out in front of you. Take the weight and place it on top of your left knee. Okay. Imagine that you're putting your hand into your right pocket. So slide it in there. Where your hands would be if you had your hand in the pocket, it's there right now. Press that part of your hip into your hand. And what you're going to feel when you do that is that your glute engages. So engage it more. So it's not back here. You're pressing that hip, like where your hip flexes, right into your hand. Start to push the right knee forward as you drag your left heel back. Keep pushing the knee forward, keep pushing the pocket forward, keep dragging the heel. Take your weight, I'm going to turn around, and you're going to hang it between your fingers, like so. And then you're going to turn just your head to the right and the left. As if you're drawing a straight line across the room. The next time you turn your head to the left, stay to the left, just turn your shoulders to the left. So the pelvis doesn't move. Keep your shoulders where they are. Turn your head to look over your right shoulder. Keep pushing your pocket forward as you turn your shoulders and your ribs to the right. The hip doesn't move backwards because you're pushing the hip forward. Pull your pubic bone up towards your belly button. Keep your shoulders turning to the right. Turn your head to the left. And then let your shoulders follow. Keep your shoulders facing the left. Turn your head over your right shoulder. Keep pushing the hip forward. And then turn your upper body to the right. Good. Bring the weight back out in front of you. Hold it on your knee. Crawl your foot forward. Hand in your pocket. Push forward with the pocket. So you're not dumping, right? You're trying to push the top of your thigh forward to get that good hip flexor stretch. Tuck your right toe under. Kick your heel towards your hip and hold. So I'm not on my kneecap. I'm above my kneecap, and I'm really pushing my pocket into my hand. Lower the foot down. Take the blocks on either side of your left foot. Lift the back of your knee to lift your leg straight. Tap the knee to the ground. Push the pocket forward. Keep pushing the pocket forward. Tuck the right toe under. Lift the back of the knee to lift the leg. Tap the knee. So the pelvis, watch me for a second, and notice that my pelvis doesn't go any higher or lower. I'm just using my pocket to push my knee down and the back of my knee to lift the hip up. Good. Come up to tall kneeling. Swing the right foot behind you. Hands come between both of your legs. Send your hips towards your heel. Come back up. Send your hips towards your heel. Come back up. Send your hips towards your heel. Come back up. Right hand down, left hand up. Kick the right leg through. Drop your butt to the ground. Drop your elbow to the ground. Come all the way down. All right. Other side. So right knee bends. Left leg and arm out 45 degrees from your body. Right arm straight up. Start to roll. Right rib cage towards the left side of your body. Press down through your foot like you're pressing through that band to try to keep the left leg on the ground as you roll to elbow press. Good. Right knee presses out. Make sure it's bent 90 degrees. Come up onto your hand. Keep the right foot firmly on the ground, so don't let the knee drop in. Keep it out. Left outer edge of the foot presses down. Right foot fully presses down. Lift up. Bend knee to chest, and then swing it underneath. Turn the left leg out, lower left leg out to come into that half kneeling. Bring your kettlebell onto the top of your right knee. Bring your left hand like you're sliding it in a pocket. Push the front of your thigh into your pocket. Drive the left knee forward like you're going to scrape it on the ground. At the same time, pull your left heel back. Take the bell behind you and let it hang in your hands. And then first, draw that line with your nose. So the whole time you're actively stabilizing your pelvis, stretching the front of your hip flexor by pushing that pocket forward and driving the knee forward as you pull the heel back. Next time you turn your head to look over your right shoulder, then turn your rib cage too. Keep your rib cage aimed to the right. Turn your head to look over your left shoulder. Push your left pocket so your pelvis doesn't move as you twist your left rib cage open to the left. Keep it open that way. Turn your head, then head follows, or ribs follow. Turn it to the right. Ribs follow. Keep pushing the pocket forward so the hips don't open. Good. Bring the bell back to your knees. Crawl the foot forward. And then shift the hips forward without hinging forward. So keep pushing that pocket forward. You should feel like the front of your hip, is stretching. And then lift, if you can, the left heel towards the hip. Keep pushing the pocket forward. You might feel your hamstrings cramp. Good. Release the foot down. Take the bell out of the way. Take the blocks on either side. So you can come further into that low lunge so that you're not on the kneecap, you're kind of on that flesh above your knee. Tuck your left toes under. Push your pocket forward, not towards the floor, but towards between the blocks. And then think of lifting the back of the knee to take your knee off the ground. And then push your pocket forward to tap the knee down. Reach through your heel, push the back of the knee towards the sky. Bend the knee, push the pocket forward to tap it back down. 2 more. So try not to let the pelvis lift any higher or any lower than it already is. Knee stays down. Flip the left foot behind you as you rotate so that you are facing in between. I'm going to show you this from the back side so you can see what I'm doing from the back side. So your hips go back. You touch your hands between your right foot and your left knee and then press back up. Hips go back like they're going to touch your heel, and then come back up. Go down, go back up. Good. Left hand comes down, right hand comes up. Lift the left knee off the ground, taking it towards your chest, and then kick the leg through. We go to elbow, and we go spine. So we're going to go full get up, one step at a time. So, left knee bent, left arm up. Right leg and arm are 45 degrees away from your body. Push down through your foot like the resistance band is there. Push down through your hand. Roll the left side of your rib cage towards the right to lift up onto your right elbow. Chest towards thumb, fist towards sky. Lift up onto your hand. Left foot presses firmly into the ground. Outer edge of the right foot lifts up into the ground. Press buckle to the sky. Knee to chest, then swing knee to the floor. Turn by flipping your right foot behind you to face your left knee. Tuck your right toes under. Push your pocket forward. Press the right heel back to stand up and then step up. Right foot steps back. Push your pocket forward. Slowly lower your right knee to the ground. Flip your right foot to the left side of your mat. Right hand comes down to the ground. Lift right knee off the ground, pull it toward your chest, then kick it out and forward. Lower down to your hip, lower down to your elbow, lower down to your back. Bend the right knee, straighten the left leg. Left arm and leg out to the side, 45 degrees away from your body. Right fist up. Start to push down through the foot like that band is there. Push down into the floor with your left hand. Roll the right side of your rib cage towards the left. Come up onto your elbow. Push the right knee out. Push the outer edge of the left foot down. Come up onto your hand. Turn your chest towards your left thumb. Right fist towards the sky. Lift the hips up towards the sky. Knee to chest, and then turn the knee down to the floor in line with your left thumb. Flip the foot behind you as you come up into tall kneeling. Push the pocket forward. Tuck the left toes under. Keep pushing the pocket forward as you stand straight up. Step your left foot beside your right foot. Step your left foot straight back. Push the pocket forward, slowly lower down onto your knees. Flip the left foot to the right. Left hand comes to the ground. Pull the knee into your chest, kick the leg through. Left elbow down. Roll onto your spine. Bend both knees. Hug it in. And rock. Straighten both legs long to the ground. Come back into that starting position. Notice your feet and how close or far away to the ground are they? Has it changed? Is it more even? Notice the back, the weight on the back of your pelvis. Notice your low back. What thing could you slide under your low back? And then finally notice your rib cage, maybe even bringing your hands just to notice, do they flare up or do they rest down towards your belly? And a lot of this rib flare or anterior tilt, where your low back is resting far away from the floor, is caused by that tightness of the hip flexors. So today we worked on strengthening them, but also lengthening them. So whenever you're ready, go ahead and bend your knees. Roll to your side and press yourself